Hey guys, welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. So this is my first podcasting episode for Keymaker Nation, and I'm driving home for the day. I'm just got done with work, and just wanted to sort of give an intro to the podcast and talk about really why I thought I should start doing the podcast. And so my ideas really revolve around one fact that I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always had something going at some point, and I'm a software engineer by trade, and I've also had some marketing consulting experience, specifically with organic search, and I've been teaching myself paid search lately, and paid ads more specifically. But so I have thought that as I've sort of been observing more and more about what successful people are doing, I've sort of like become aware of something that I've been avoiding for a long time, and that's really as a software engineer, you're sort of not everyone, but for me specifically, I'm sort of more introverted, and that doesn't necessarily mean I can't speak. It just means I don't necessarily always like to speak. So I've sort of become aware that just by watching and observing successful people that I need to get over that fear, and I just need to put myself out there a little bit more, and also just share more of my thoughts and observations and realizations that I have. So I've been sort of avoiding putting myself on camera and being the speaker. So I'm just trying to figure out, how can I do that more frequently and more often, and put myself in those situations a little bit more. And I thought that probably the best way for me to do that is the time that that doesn't take away any extra time that I have during the day is, and I've talked about extra time because I've got a wife and 3 kids, and every single moment that I get to spend with them is precious. So I got to figure out, how can I life hack, so to speak, and get a little bit more time in the day to do some more broadcasting. And so this is what this is. Hopefully I can get at least a couple times a week in the car to be able to spend some extra time with you guys. But this is, I think, probably the best time. So what the show's going to consist of, the podcast, what it's going to consist of really is I am constantly reading books, mainly audiobooks, and also constantly listening to podcasts. And so I wanted to really just take sort of the realizations that I'm always having. Like I constantly have new realizations, and I'm constantly working on growing my business and figuring out what it is that I need to do next. And so what I wanted to do, what I want this podcast to be, is a time for me to share with you guys what I've learned, and hopefully be able to connect with you guys and hear more about what you guys are working on too. So that's what this is. Hopefully that's a good enough intro for you guys to get an idea of what this is. But it's the Keymaker Nation podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.